In this video, we're going to be talking about Vechain. We're going to be analyzing the price of Vechain to see if Vechain is still bullish or bearish, pretty much giving a technical analysis upon price action. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe as I'm trying to get 600 subs. As well as that, before investing into Vechain, please do your own research as I'm not a financial advisor. So looking on CoinMarketCap, you can see that Vechain is currently down 0.55% at the time of recording. On the chart provided, you can see here that Vechain was pretty much bearish starting off at the day, and then we did have a little impulse towards the bullish side, reaching the highs of 0.0456. Then from then onwards, we did have a little head and shoulder pattern occurring, which therefore led the price to come towards the downside. And then what can we see here from here? I think this was mainly due to Bitcoin as well rising, and then from then onward, Bitcoin did also drop, which therefore led the price action to also come down. So if we go over to TradingView to have a bit more in-depth analysis on Vechain. So what can be said about Vechain? Let's start off from the 4 hour all the way down to let's start from the daily. In fact, yeah, let's see. So on the daily, you can see that Vechain has been very bearish over the past few, pretty much over the past few days, not pretty much for the since the 9th of November. Yeah, so Vechain has been making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, pretty much taking out and not even respecting any of these demand zones essentially. And even this demand zone was also taken out, and it looks like we've actually respected one. We've respected this demand zone here. This last bear candle, you can see here that we've tapped into it once, pretty much, which is looking really nice. It looks like the VChains could possibly start making an accumulation schematic. You could possibly say that this is the left inverted shoulder, and then you could say that this is the head, and then you can say that this would possibly be the right inverted shoulder, which therefore could lead price all the way up to here, reaching the highs of possibly 0.09772 essentially. But it just depends on the overall market conditions as well. You got to take that into consideration. As Bitcoin is the leader and all the other coins just follow it. So what can be said? So I mean, we've started to have a little bit of a accumulation schematics being made, which is a good sign of possible reversals essentially from this overall drop. Essentially, you can see that how much price has dropped. Pretty sure loads and loads of people must have invested up in this region, possibly thinking that okay, we've now broken structure, we could possibly start reaching the highs again of 0.27 essentially, but price did overall drop. And this was mainly due to the current market conditions of Bitcoin as well. If we go over to Bitcoin, let me go over to Bitcoin to see. You can see here that Bitcoin is pretty much starting to become bullish again. Hopefully, because if we drop into the 1 hour, yeah, so you pretty much see here that there was pretty much an accumulation schematic being made. There was loads and loads of demand zones which were pretty much liquidated from this, and then from this we had an initial reversal, pretty much breaking structure, not respecting any of these supply zones. And then what can be said, we did have a little pullback, pretty much inducing this demand zone over here, which therefore led to the initial increase, pretty much liquidating all of this. And then we did tap up into this supply zone. You can see that this is a supply zone. What can be said, you can see we tapped up into the supply zone. We did once, and then we did for a retest, and then from the retest onwards we had an initial drop, and then from the initial drop we pretty much liquidated the weak candy buyers from there, which therefore pretty much made us tap up into this demand zone over here. And yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see on how price reacts or once it breaches past. Even if it does close above these candles, or even if it touches above this area. So yeah, I feel like once Bitcoin does start to have an initial bullish momentum coming through, I feel like Vechain and the rest of the overall crypto market will eventually have an initial bullish intent coming through. So what else can be said about Vechain? You can see that Vechain is still respecting this demand zone. If you go into the hourly, you can see this demand zone is still being respected, which is really good to see. But I feel like the overall market is making liquidity. When it makes equal lows, it's making liquidity, which therefore means that price will most likely come below there, pretty much liquidate it, and then therefore then approach the movement towards the upside. So yeah, that's all it is for today. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe as I'm trying to hit 600 subs. And